What's up, FHS? Jace Dennison here with Bradley Lewis. You may have noticed things are getting a bit warmer at FHS, and that's because Hot Takes is back for another season. Bradley, let's kick it off.
It's windy.
It is windy. There it is. Wind. There it is. That's the one. The 2023 MLB season has just wrapped up, with the Texas Rangers defeating the Arizona Diamondbacks in the World Series, 4-1. Now, we jump into our hot takes over next MLB season. Welcome back to the beautiful BKTV studios. I'm here with Eric Johnson, Bradley Lewis, Jebby Crump, and we're about to get into our hot takes. So, Jebby, you want to start?
So, for my first take, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay it all out there. I'm going to say that the Cardinals are going to win the World Series this next season. We just lost to the Red Sox this past season, and just 2 years ago we won to the Rangers. One of the biggest worries that Mike Matheny is still fairly new to the managerial role, but front office isn't worried. We have one of the consistently best defenses throughout history. Not to mention Yadier Molina's .319 batting average and .836 OPS this past season, to match with Wainwright's 29-9 record with a 2.94 ERA and a 1.06 WHIP. I just don't think you can beat that. That's an incredible lineup.
Chevy, I like it. I have one thing to say.
Okay.
What year do you think it is?
Well, it's 2013. We just lost the World Series to the Red Sox.
Jebby, that's where you're going wrong, buddy. It's 2023. The Cardinals didn't even make it to the postseason, buddy.
Okay.
Now that you've crawled out of your time machine, let's get into a take that we can actually think about.
Let's understand something. So, Jebby started with the World Series. I'm going to take it to a different direction. I'm going to talk about the off season. Who's going where? There's some big free agents. Shohei Ohtani is the biggest free agent this year. Last year he was a 10-WAR player. OPS plus 184, ERA plus 142. This guy's crazy. He's a strong candidate for the MVP award this year.
Absolutely.
I think he's going to the Oakland A's. That's all I'm saying. He's going to the A's.
Yeah, I can see that.
Strong young team. They really need a star to get them going. I think that's what they need. Ohtani said he wants to stay on the West Coast, and I think that's all we need to know.
Well, I think they've been playing Moneyball for long enough that they have the cap
They got the
space
money.
and they can buy him.
I think
that's all they would get.
Yeah,
They can do it.
I think it's what they need.
You know, I absolutely agree that the Oakland A's need a star. I think that's a fair assessment of the situation. However, I think that Shohei is going to be influenced by the offense in St. Louis. I think he's going to be excited to pair up with Matt Holliday and Yadier Molina and all those guys. So I see him going to the Cardinals, and I might just hop on the Jebby train. I think that the Cardinals.
I think they're winning this year.
I think they can return to the World Series, and I think they're going to beat the Rangers again for the second time in 3 years.
You're right.
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson, what do you think is going to happen this offseason?
I don't know. I'm dumbfounded by the wisdom that is coming out of you guys so far. No, I mean, I think Ohtani's the big name that everyone's throwing out there. Obviously, his arm issues are going to have an impact on that. I don't see him going to the A's. He's already on a team that is a big market team, but they don't win. I think the A's are in that same boat, so he's going to look for a team that wins. I could see him going to San Francisco, staying on the West Coast. The Giants have won pretty consistently in the past. They're kind of in one of the divisions that's always up in the air. As far as World Series takes, number one team, I don't know. I like what I saw of the Diamondbacks. I think they're built for that kind of thing. I like the way they play baseball. I like their run game. They don't strike out a lot to put the ball in play. They move runners around. So all those things that I like to see in a baseball game, they do well, and I think they're going to continue to get better. So you never know. Baseball's a funny game.
So I like the Diamondbacks take.
I have one more thing I want to bring up for this offseason before we move into our next topic. So, last season, 2023 season, everyone knows Aaron Judge was washed, right? Mm-hmm. He was washed. He was not the player he was last year. Mm-hmm. The previous year, broke the home run record in a single season. Crazy guy. This year he was a little washed. He owned 175 OPS plus. Not the greatest. I think the Yankees are going to see this and they're going to think it's time to part ways, and I think they're going to trade Aaron Judge to the Oakland A's for Tony Kemp, Nick Allen, Tyler Soderstrom, and Adam Oller. I think all these people, all these younger guys coming into the Yankee system is going to add to an already young team. It's going to push them. And I think the A's getting Aaron Judge, I think it's going to be good because they're going to get a nice little leader guy, even if he's washed and not good anymore. So I just want to do a little comparison here. So as I said, 175 OPS plus for Aaron Judge. Mm-hmm. These players that they're getting, total combined 170 OPS plus, and a 41 ERA plus.
And it's spread across 4 players.
Yeah.
And it's 4 spots in the lineup.
That's 4 whole spots in the lineup that are going to be getting better there.
So let me raise you this. What if you did Aaron Judge to the Rockies for Arenado and Trevor Story?
I think that's a good trade, but like I said, we are in 2023. Wrong year.
Okay.
Dang it. Wrong year.
Dang it.
Okay.
Well,
That's a good point.
I do like that, though. I feel like that's a lot of really great names for the New York Yankees. I feel like that's about the best deal they're going to get for Judge. I mean, come on. The man has hit so many home runs. How many more can he hit?
He's tired.
I say they get rid of him while they can.
Yeah.
And they get those big names. I feel like that's a great
Not
move
to
for
mention
them.
the atmosphere in Oakland is at the Coliseum is
Oh, yeah.
unlike anything else.
Oh, real.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Packed house.
People buy a whole section of tickets just for themselves so that they don't have anyone sitting next to them. Mm-hmm. It's a really great atmosphere.
So I want to circle around back to the Jevy's Cardinals here. A lot of rumors going around. Yachty coming back to be a coach. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about that? Okay, Mr. Johnson, let's start with you.
I think he'll be a good coach. I think he's got a lot of in-game experience. I think he's got a lot of respect among players. They're going to listen to him. Obviously, you've got Wilson Contreras, who says he wants to learn. And you bring in Molina. We'll see whether Contreras wants to humble himself enough to learn from Molina or not. So I think it'd be a good thing all around if he was on the coaching staff.
I'll agree with that. I think he'd make a good coach, but I think it's going to be really hard for a player to be playing every day and also coaching an entire team.
Yeah.
That's a lot of responsibility for one guy.
I mean, you're going to see 319 average slip.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say 240 at the very
least.
best, and that's just not going to be good.
So I say they
you can't
stick with
expect-
Matheny for now. Stick with Matheny. Maybe they pull in Aaron Judge to join Alan Craig and Matt Holliday in the outfield. That's a trio right there.
Yeah.
Let's trade away John Jay.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jevy?
I mean, I think it's a great idea as long as you can balance having 2 roles like that, which, shoot, I couldn't do it. Player manager is something that is almost unheard of.
Yeah.
But I think if there was anyone to do it, that it would be Yadier Molina to do it.
So me personally, here back in 2023, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I think that talks between the Cardinals and Yadi are gonna fall through. I think it's gonna lead to some animosity. And I think that Yachty is going to end up becoming a coach for the Cubs out of spite. He's going to spite the Cardinals and
I like
start
that.
coaching for the Cubs.
That is a hot take right there.
That is a hot take.
I haven't thought about it like that, but yeah.
So, final topic here, guys. World Series winners. What are we feeling?
Well,
We already got Jetty.
Yeah, I think a couple of you gave your answers. I have not given mine yet, but I'm going with the Philadelphia Phillies. We've seen, I don't know if you've seen the Baseball Doesn't Exist video about their playing environment.
I have.
But that is a nasty stadium. I would not want to go in there as a visitor in the playoffs. And when you talk about Bryce Harper, what he's done, Trey Turner, I mean, it was a down year last year, but still 26 home runs in a down year. I'll take that. They got Alec Boehm, Bryson Stott, Brandon Marsh, Nick Castellanos, JT Realmuto, and Kyle Schwarber. That lineup cannot be stopped.
It's unreal.
I don't think anyone can, even the Diamondbacks, I don't think they're going to be able to stop them next year.
I mean, I like that you mentioned their atmosphere because Citizens Bank Park during the playoffs is almost like it's almost like you compiled the worst human beings in one area.
Yeah.
And you just have to play baseball in front of them.
That's
I
very
don't
accurate.
think I could hang, if I'm being honest.
They boo their own players.
They
They're
do.
just terrible people.
Ruthless.
They sleep in dirt.
They sleep in mud huts. What do you think, Mr. Johnson? Who do you think is going to win the World Series?
But, you know, I think, again, I think we might see a team that comes up and surprises us. I know there's some teams, especially if the Cubs get Molina, you know, that might put them over the top. But, yeah, I like the Phillies. I like the Diamondbacks. They're built for that type of season where you're in the postseason and it's real short. You got to win now. High pressure type things. I don't think it's going to be Dodgers or Braves. I think it's going to be one of those teams that kind of creeps up at the end and plays well when it matters.
I'll agree with that. And one thing I didn't mention with the Phillies, they're currently talking about signing Blake Snell. Finished with a 2.25 ERA. That was ranked number 3 in the league. Had a 14-9 record last year. And he's talking about signing with either the Phillies or the St. Louis Cardinals. So, do we think that he's going to go to St. Louis and try to learn from Wainwright and Shelby Miller and those older guys? Or do we think he's going to get in his time machine, go forward to 2023, and sign with the Philadelphia Phillies?
I think it would be hard to not sign with the Phillies after their performance. You know,
Absolutely.
They did choke in the NLCS, but I think they're only going to come back bigger and better and with that fire in their soul.
I agree. I think they're starting to form a little bit of a dynasty here, a playoff dynasty that the Cardinals had. The Cardinals always in the playoffs every single year. You know, don't make it all the way every time, but they had a good solid run for like 5 or 6 years. They were in the playoffs every single year, and I think that just takes a really good team for a long time. Really so, Johnson, you were talking about surprises. My World Series winner, I don't think it's going to be a surprise. I think everyone's going to expect this. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say everyone's expecting this in the World Series next year. That team is the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's are going to win the World Series. You might think I'm crazy. You might say, hey, they lost 112 games last year. To that I say, have faith. The A's 2023 season was a fluke.
Right.
If they had Judge and Ohtani, I believe they will win the World Series in 2024.
Moneyball, baby.
Yeah.
They've played enough Moneyball for the longest amount of time. I think they have the budget for it. I think they can. I think they can spend $700 million. $7 billion. They can spend $7 billion.
I mean, they're a sleeper pick for sure, but like you said, if they spend about $700 billion, they might be able to win.
I think
they have that.
I think that's a stretch. I mean, the Oakland A's, the only question that I have when you say the Oakland A's is where do I start? I am having trouble of thinking of 5 Oakland Athletics players.
Well, I can tell you right now.
Right.
Tony Kemp, Nick Allen, Tyler Soderstrom, and Adam Mahler. There's 4.
Yeah, I mean, that is 4,
Those are 4 Angels.
4 Angels now.
Yeah.
4 Angels.
4 Yankees,
Sorry,
actually.
Yankees.
They're 4 Yankees now.
Right.
Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, that's 2.
There's 2, yeah. That is, okay. Johnson, you want to help me out here?
I don't think we can. I don't think
No.
No, if you got Ohtani closing and Judge hitting in the middle of the lineup, they're going to win a lot of games.
Well,
I think that's true.
Not to mention if they can pick up Prince Fielder.
Oh,
it'd
yeah.
be unreal for the lineup.
And you know what? Why don't they pull in Cecil Fielder, too? Get a little father-son duo going.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, they already have Ricky Henderson,
Yeah.
Mark McGwire. They got the Bash brothers.
I mean, that is Mark McGwire, all the other guys you said, whoever they were, that's unreal. Can't beat it.
Young kid named Matt Chapman. I think he's a promising young prospect.
I think he's a good player.
Matt Olson, if he doesn't end up on the Braves hitting about 50 home runs, I think he'll be hitting about 50 home runs on the A's.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just gonna about do it for Hot Takes. If you made it this far, I respect you. Hats off, everybody. See you next time.
See you later.